Well, welcome back, Washed Up Walk-Ons fans. It's episode 278. Happy holidays. Kevin, welcome in.
Kevin Ward, good to see him back out there.
You know,
Hey, man, I'm on a little streak here. I haven't missed one in a while. I don't know if that clip was appropriate.
Dolph just wanted to welcome you back in.
Yeah, that's good. We got to go see Dolph in his bar sometime.
I know, man. That's really when you make it, right? When you got a bar named after you, it's over. That's the exit plan. That's the exit strategy. You start a bar. We name it. Well, shit, we can't name it Walk-Ons because there's already the Walk-Ons restaurant that's actually coming. Yeah.
That refuses to sponsor us.
No, they don't refuse to sponsor us. They're going to be our title sponsor at some point. They just haven't made their way into Iowa and Nebraska yet, but they
just don't know yet. It's going to happen. They just don't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I've reached out to their owner.
It's like Walk-Ons like bistro or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
it's
like a southern restaurant.
Yes. It's got like what would you call it? Like
gumbo,
yeah, that kind of food.
I love me some gumbo.
And I know you're into that kind of stuff. I, however, am not. But that's okay because I'll still pimp out their restaurant and talk.
I'm sure they got burgers and fries and
they got to have something that I would eat, right? But yeah, that's maybe farther down the road, but yeah, welcome in. It's episode 278. It's the week of Christmas. It's Sunday the 19th. On Saturday the 25th, our Lord and Savior was born, Josie Jewell.
Josie is a Christmas baby. That is cool.
Oh, Josie was born on the 25th of December. Tough one for him because he probably got marginally less presents over the years because it's a double duty sort of situation.
Yeah. So my birthday is on the 12th and I sometimes get double dipped, which is, it's fine. But he definitely probably gets
there's no way.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So happy early birthday to Josie.
Shout out all the holiday babies out there.
Yeah, Josie and Jesus, right? Maybe we'll title this episode Josie and Jesus. I think and then people will guess, ooh, which one did they have on the podcast? Did they find a way to have the all-powerful Jesus Christ on the show? Does he even have a microphone to podcast, or could he just link in somehow? I don't know.
I'm sure you could find a way to link in.
Yeah. So happy early holidays to everybody. How many days of work you got to work this week, Kev?
If they're falling and breaking shit, I'm working.
Regardless of the day?
I mean, yeah. If you broke your hip on Christmas, I'm pretty sure you'd want it fixed right away.
If I broke my hip on Christmas and I knew it was you who was coming in, I'd say, you know what? Hold off. We'll do it tomorrow.
I don't think so. I don't think you actually would.
Oh.
It's pretty painful to break your hip, actually.
Okay.
So I'm told.
Yeah.
I think you'd want it fixed.
That's an issue,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk some football here. And we have a couple things we want to get into. Before that, it is the end of the year. Our podcast has a back end, not a back end. It's just sort of a side stream of what we do, a cause that we obviously base a lot of our stuff around, and that is UI Children's Hospital. And this year we were able to take our donation that we aggregate over the course of a year together and take that to a new level, right? Last year we were able to donate $5,000 to the children. This year, along with the $2,000 donation from earlier in October, and this is all thanks to you guys, by the way. Everybody listening, this is strictly you guys, right? From the Patreon subscriptions, 50% of that goes to these donations. From the merchandise sales, 50% of profit, not 50% of revenue, but 50% of profit goes to these, because now that we're a legit operation, there are some expenses around this joint. But the walk-ons in total, $17,000
Woo!
to the children of Yeah, to the children of the hospital. And it's not just going to the hospital. Drake, who I understand he's been absent for a few podcasts. He's taking care of some stuff on the back end in his life. He was very adamant that he wanted this to go straight to the kids, right?
100%.
And so I reached out and said, and contacted the hospital. I was like, hey, is there a specific like way that we can donate this to the kids, toys, this, that, the other? And our 15,000 will be going to the other 2,000 went to the NICU sleepers fund that the one nurse ran. That's fantastic. The other 15 grand will be donated to the Child Life Gift Fund. And that fund directly benefits the kids, including toys around the holidays, music and play therapy items, end of chemo parties, and other miscellaneous supplies that the Child Life team needs in order to provide the best services for the kids and their families. So,
dude, those end of chemo parties sound lit.
Yeah, those got to be lit, man.
Yeah,
they're playing.
What if they came in the room with like sparklers and
it's just like bottles at
like Sunny D sparklers.
Like, dude, everybody, all the nurses and the entire staff, the doctors, they roll in with Sunny D, Capri Suns, and they just come in and they're just like, got to pump it up. Got to pump it up. It's just like, and that's what we're paying for, right? And all the toys as well. So that should get them a decent amount of toys, man. I mean, that could buy some serious toys. So hopefully those kids in the hospital, they are riding high this holiday season. And it brings a smile to our face and to our hearts to be able to do that.
Like Clue said, I just want to reiterate, thank you. That's all from you guys buying merch and subscribing to the Patreon. We really appreciate it. It's really awesome what this has become.
Yeah, the ability for us to, especially as we look ahead to 2022, and there's going to be some more of this. Oh, it's the end of 21. We're crossing over into the new year. What's on the horizon? With the things that we've sort of lined up and the jumps we've made in this past year, this number could be really, really cool next year. I mean, this thing could grow to $30,000, $40,000 if all things go to plan. So that would be insane. If we get it to that level next year, I think we, and hopefully COVID continues to, at this point, we're just living in a perpetual state of the vid. But if that thing ever lightens up, maybe next year, Kev, you and I, we go to the hospital, we actually stand there with a check and all that and do the whole.
Maybe play one of the PS5s we're handing out.
Yeah. Play, whoop a kid's ass in Madden real quick. And
you ever watch the Chappelle Show skit where he goes and visits the sick kid in the hospital?
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about right now. Except those kids are probably whooping my ass. I haven't played video games in so long.
Yeah, man. So speaking of big checks, I saw on Twitter today, Linderbaum was standing there with, I believe, his parents, 30 and, his official donation of 30 grand to the Children's Hospital. So, man, it's hard to argue NIL when guys go out and do stuff like that. I don't know a better way to say it than that. It's
right. I mean, that's just awesome.
And Linderbaum's
he could have just put that in his pocket.
He could have. And Linderbaum's in a different situation. He understands that most likely in a few months, there's going to be a much, much, much bigger check
in the finance world. They call that a windfall.
A windfall.
Yeah, a windfall of cash.
Well, it's going to be a Niagara Falls of cash on Tyler Linderbaum because his signing bonus is going to be somewhere around, I don't know, 15 mil, maybe 10 to $15 million. That's a little more than 30 grand. So, he's in that fortunate position to do that. Not a fortunate position, an earned position that he's worked his ass off for. He is, by the way, a consensus All-American. So that marks 3 years in a row that we've had a consensus All-American. If you want to go back to,
which is insane.
It's absurd, right? And then I believe the year we skipped was 2018, and in 17 we had two of them. I think it was Josh and Josie.
Josh and Josie, yeah.
So in the last 5 years, we have 5 consensus All-Americans. Is that good?
It's decent.
Neither
Decent.
we were not one of those.
No.
Unfortunate.
No honorable mentions. No nothing for the walk on.
Not even. I didn't even. I think you got probably like academic All Big Ten.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I did not. Which
I mean, it's cool. All you have to do is have a 3.0 cumulative and step on the field once. That's it.
Hey, congrats, man.
Yeah.
You're a champion.
No, but I'm academic all Big Ten.
But you're academic All Big Ten. Not a champion, but academic All Big Ten. But yeah, we just wanted to start off the podcast with that donation sort of point, because that's really freaking awesome. And
yeah, we're coming after you, Lindy. We're coming after you.
Yeah, Lindy. Yeah, Linderbaum. I don't care how big your signing bonus is. We're gonna beat your donation next year. Pretty cool.
What if we did that? What if like everyone who's like raising money for the children's hospital had like a WWE style event where we're like in the ring with microphones, like, I've been donating to the Iowa Children's Hospital since 2017. You just show up to the block and you drop one big check. We're gonna do this every year. We'll go with you toe to toe every year.
If you think that I'm not going to step up and beat your donation, you're goddamn wrong. God, it hurts my voice to talk like that. Just pull a Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're going to give these kids toys, blankets.
Yeah. More toys.
Supplies, more toys, more blankets, more toys, and more beer. Or no, not beer.
There's an NCAA official who was against NIL, and someone just stone cold stunners.
He just walks in the room. The Viper, they RKO him just right off the top of a hospital bed, just out of nowhere. RKO.
Watch out.
The kids are going nuts in the hallways, like, oh my God, this is the best thing we've ever seen.
What if we did it in Kinnick and we like sold tickets?
And then they could
went to the fund. Additionally, the kids could watch it from up top. Man. I think we got an idea going.
I mean, they already did the wrestle. What was it? It was
grapple on the gridiron.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well just bring a WWE style event. I know those kids would watch. I am crying, by the way, at how funny that idea is. More toys, more remote control cars.
We could get Big E to come back. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, dude, he could promo the whole event. Manders could be there. Manders is he's a little edgy for probably, he could tone it down for the kids. He's gonna have to wear more clothes than he normally does if we're gonna do
that. And like, he ends up bleeding a lot from a lot of his.
It's just blood every match, man. Like, what are we doing? Hey, guy,
dude's getting more head trauma than he ever did at fullback.
Like, I don't know how real that is. But like I mean, I follow him and I enjoy, kind of supporting him and what he does. But man, every time he posts a video, he's smashing a light bulb on some guy's head, or he's throwing a guy into a barbed wire fence. Like,
oh God.
Do we really got to do? I saw one where he was like stuck in the rope and his foot was hanging out, and some guy jammed like a bunch of needles into his heel. Like,
what?
Like, Steve,
what are we doing here, boys?
Brother? Come on now. Can we not just like, what is with the underground shit here? I don't understand what's
going on. I think he's like one of the dudes for the
he is
the local underground wrestling.
He is. It's not underground.
He's like one of the crowd favorites, and he gets to win a lot of matches.
Yeah.
The Cowboy.
Oh yeah, the one called.
One called Manders.
So, man, a WWE event.
That's an idea. Put that in the back. Put that in the back of your mind.
Hey, at one point, the golf tournament was just an idea. It's more than an idea right now. Things are happening on the golf tournament front. So, sponsor wise on that, again, I know we reached out for sponsors. More sponsors.
Yeah.
What?
More ads, more merch, more sponsors,
more podcasts. What? We're gonna have a official sponsor package once we narrow down on the golf course. I think we've got a course locked in. We just got to basically sign the agreement, and then we're gonna be rolling. I mean, we're gonna be hunting donations and figuring out details of who the celebrities are gonna be, all that stuff. So exciting things on the horizon for the walk-ons in 2022. Couple exciting things for some Hawkeye seniors as well on the horizon. Riley Moss is going to be attending the Reeses Senior Bowl, which,
You know what I found out just recently? It is
Yeah.
confirmed that it is pronounced Reeses, not Reese's.
you called it Reese's?
Yes, everyone in Chicago called it Reese's that I know.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you poor Chicagoans. Chicagoans?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you do
Reese's.
have a little bit of an accent, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
You do a little bit.
You have an accent.
I probably do. Right? Good eye, Mike.
I got family down in Texas. Anytime I go see them, they tell me I talk weird.
Yeah.
You just hear yourself talk.
The Reese's Senior Bowl. Do you think they get a bunch of Reese's? That's kind of contrary to what like the NCAA and being a Division I athlete is all about, right? Just your hotel room at the Reese's Senior Bowl is just loaded with chocolate candy. Like, hey,
That'd
let's
be dope. You know,
let's try and
if it's not, then I mean, why are you even sponsoring the event?
I would have to imagine they get some form. Have you seen the Christmas Reese's or like the special Christmas Reese's? That's like a 2.
Oh, it's like a cake or like a cookie cake.
It's like a 5-pound Reese's peanut butter cup.
And you can cut it like a pie.
Like a pie. Or
Dude,
yeah, that's what it
I
was.
think I'd
That's what it
smash
was. It
that.
was for Thanksgiving. It was the Reese's peanut butter cup pie.
You know
how
what I
good-
do is I probably put that in the oven, heat it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, you
put
gotta
some
warm
ice
it up.
cream on top of
Put a little vanilla ice cream on
Oh,
it, man.
yeah,
Now
you
we're
know.
talking.
Yeah,
Let's
buddy.
go. Oh my God, I'm fat in the heart, dude.
Yeah, but they should definitely be doing that. Just like Outback Bowl used to sponsor the Outback dinner, which was phenomenal.
We had
Really
one.
disappointed they stopped doing that.
I think we shut down the restaurant because the one out in Coralville, we went and ate at it. 2 weeks later, it was a nail salon. So
And we're all like, what are we supposed to do with our gift
like,
cards?
wow, where do we use our gift cards at? I've got
Yeah, I ended up selling mine to a buddy back home for like 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, flip that thing around.
Yeah.
Do you how much value do you think those senior bowls have? Like I feel like we've had a
The
couple
Senior
guys.
Bowl is the best run one by far because it's run by the NFL.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's
it's
like
a really
4 or
well-run
5 of them.
operation.
Yeah.
It's like a whole week thing where you get a lot of time with the coaches and scouts there, and they get to work with you, see if you're coachable, see what you're good at, what you need to improve on. So you get a lot of exposure on that one. I'm not super familiar with the others. I know there's a lot of them now.
There's like an East-West Shrine game. There's a Hawaiian Bowl. I know that Searles was talking about all of them because he's going to all of them. So,
Right.
He's going to like 5 of them. So it's interesting to me. I feel like Chauncey was one of those guys who did he go
went
to the
Senior Bowl, I believe.
He went to the Senior Bowl, and I feel like he had a good week and it mattered.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
good-
I mean, scouts probably put as much stock in that as they do as the NFL Combine.
I would put more stock into that.
Some guys more, yeah, absolutely.
Dude, is the combine worthless?
Not worthless.
Some of it's worthless though.
Way overhyped though.
Overhyped
Way
for
overhyped.
sure. I get it for the fans. It is cool to like see some max end testing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the transferability of a
225-pound bench press, like
for most guys, even linemen who are doing that movement. It's
right.
like
I don't give a flying shit how many times you can do it. You're never going to need muscular endurance like that.
No, you
like
yeah, 'cause
basically if you're a lineman and you do it more than 25 times, I'm cool.
to be quite honest,
For me, 25 to 50 means absolutely nothing to me if I'm an NFL scout.
I was gonna say, to be quite honest, they should just do a max bench. Like you should just 1 rep max those guys. That would tell you more. It would be dangerous. It would be way more dangerous.
Yeah, you're more likely to get injured that way.
And you're going to get embarrassed. Some of those receivers are going to get embarrassed doing like 245 for a max bench. It's like, oh, that's tough.
You got some dude coming up here doing 550. But even that, like, I don't need you to bench press 550 pounds, you know.
It's the bench is such a non-athletic movement because you're locked in on your back.
You know what I think would be like if we're just doing linemen. Doing like a sled push, doing like a 20-yard
yes
for time.
Yes,
like a heavy ass sled push for time.
Yes, dude, just like we did in training for points, for Hawkeye Challenge points.
Yeah, that was something like that. I think that's much more transferable, and you can see a lot more.
I would even say that's transferable to a running back or anybody on defense trying to tackle a ball kick, like run your feet through a ball carrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's better.
I'd say it's anyone who's taking on blocks. You're gonna see more than from blocking or taking on blocks.
Yeah.
Tight ends, linemen, fullbacks, linebackers, D-line, obviously.
It would be, and again, it would, so, you know, for maybe DBs and quarterbacks and receivers, maybe it's not as exciting, but it would be much more telling of a guy's explosive athletic ability than a 225 bench. We'll talk about that and all that shit when it comes. But I do think I only seen Riley is going to one of these games. I can't imagine he's the only one that's been invited. So maybe a few more of those have yet to be announced, or I just didn't see them. But I know that I saw that. And I think, you know, especially for a guy like Riley, All-American, who only played 8 games, 2/3 of a season, like he could go down there and really show some more shit to some coaches who have questions.
I'd be interested to see. He's obviously going to end up on a team somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know when he's going to get picked, but he'll get drafted. Where they have him playing, if they want to move him to safety or keep him out of corner.
Well, there's this like funny stat of not a lot of white corners in the NFL.
Nope.
And don't ask me.
He had a great year. Like he had
an unbelievable year.
I don't know if you remember his freshman year. It would have been 2018. And
yeah, he got torched.
No. Hurt, but he had to play the Minnesota game. We were at Minnesota, and he was getting picked on.
Yeah, they picked on him like the 3rd grader in a 6th grade basketball game.
Right. You fast forward 3 years, and he is a really damn good cornerback.
Now, granted, there were a couple times, specifically against Kent State, I remember, their one good receiver did beat him.
I mean, you're going to get beat. All right, everybody gets beat.
Dude, how hard is it?
Out on an island. You're playing what is, in my opinion, the hardest position to play. Quarterback, meh, up there.
But I would say it's different. It's an apple to orange. Athletically,
for sure.
Athletically, cornerback it's the hardest position in all of team sports. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's
dude, your job is to, hey, you're one-on-one with this guy and he knows where he's going and you don't know where he's going.
And he is also one of the best athletes in the country.
Right. And your job is to make sure that he doesn't get the ball. Are you kidding me, dude? Now, of course, they're not always
like half the field to cover.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really tough position. His growth in it was incredible. Always had the athletic ability. I remember when I was an intern, he was coming in that first summer and watching them run. I'm like, holy shit, this dude's an athlete.
Kid can fly. I watched him do the 110 hurdles in high school. I think he has the 110 hurdle record in Iowa or something like that for high school. I know he was a state champ. So yeah, it's interesting. But you know, it's always fun to see where those guys end up. They come in and get torched and get picked on in the beginning of their career. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, this guy just got drafted in the 5th round. Like, it's so cool to see that entire development.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. Trying to think of anyone from our class that
was like that.
Yeah. No one really comes to mind from our class.
Again, you know, 56 rated class in the country. So not great. I mean, Josie,
Desmond
Josie wasn't
good. LaShawn didn't redshirt.
Josie wasn't Josie when he came in. He was a question.
Josie was not Josie when he came in. That is correct. Josie was kind of a little bitch his first year.
Still kind of a little bitch, honestly.
Still a little bitch.
Have to call him a little bitch since we said happy birthday to him at the beginning of the podcast. and put him on the same level as Jesus, which many Iowa fans do, rightfully so. Pretty good linebacker.
How about Ben Neiman though? Like
Ben was similar.
Ben was a high school wide receiver and safety.
Yeah. God, him and Nick just killing it in the league right now. He got he had a huge stop on the goal line the other night, and I think recovered a fumble or something. So
no, he tipped the ball that got picked.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Did we see? I know you saw it because this had happened right on the same day as our last podcast. What's his name? Travis Hill or something like that. The number 1 recruit in high school. He flipped to Jackson State.
Yep.
We didn't really talk about it. You mentioned it as a passing joke. Pretty crazy, right?
You want to talk about it? Because there's some shady shit going down.
What? So Dion obviously is the head coach of Jackson State. Dion is a Barstool employee.
Yep.
And Barstool offered this kid a $1.5 million NIL deal.
Yep.
But it was probably, obviously you can't stipulate that like, hey, you have to flip. I don't honestly, I don't know. But so the assumption was this kid was not going to get this NIL deal if he goes to Florida State.
That is the speculation out there. Yeah. I mean,
you're talking like you're his dad or something. He's like, you're like
dude, I don't know. I mean, it's possible Barstool still offer him this deal, but you take a look at the connection with Barstool with Dion. He's got his podcast. He's out there giving his picks. I saw his post this morning. He's giving out his NFL picks.
Pretty great. I mean, he's entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, he's good content. Yeah, he's prime time, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, to see a high profile recruit switch on signing day to a much
they're an HBCU, right?
Smaller school. Yeah. And I don't know, shady shit.
I believe his announcement on Twitter was something about being, setting a example of high-end recruits can go and play for all black schools, which if that's the.
Yeah, man, of course they can. I mean, if you are a great football player, you will get found by the NFL.
And that's what a lot of people said too. I just think, and if that's his true 100% motivation, that's awesome for him to kind of break the mold and go play for a smaller school, go play. Granted, he's going to play for Deion Sanders, who knows a thing or two about football. And
it helps that you had like a lot of hype around you in high school. So scouts are probably going to know
right
of you.
Yeah.
And then they're going to see you, watch you play. And then it's a lot harder for guys who, let's say, develop late, like what good high school player goes, plays D2, whatever.
Yeah.
And like still keeps growing, developing. And then by his senior year, he's like a monster D2 player.
Right.
A lot harder for that guy to get noticed.
Yeah. You're right.
Still happens, but
yeah, it's interesting the paths that can be taken. Sort of funny. Other news in recruiting, and this is from our friends in Lincoln. They're not our friends, although I will say this. I want to say a quick thing, and I just want to admit this on the podcast and put it out there. And you guys, the fans of the Washington Walk-Ons, can shit on me all you want. I am a Nebraska volleyball fan. Okay. And that's just, it is what it is. Now, that's twofold, right? You might shit on me just for being a volleyball fan in general, and then for also choosing what?
What's wrong with volleyball?
Some people out there are like, dude, volleyball, people who.
Dude, if you watch like really competitive volleyball, it's like pretty fun. Like, I always make it a point to watch like men's volleyball in the Olympics. Those dudes get up,
dude. It's more than fun. It is. Yeah. It is one of the most good volleyball.
Yeah.
Not ninth grade B team volleyball, because I've seen that too. Good Division I, NCAA tournament volleyball, like what's been on over the past couple of weeks, or like you said, Olympic volleyball, both men's or women's. That shit is elite. And one of the most exciting. And if you're into it and you actually have a little skin in the game, like again, why am I a fan?
You throwing down some bets on volleyball?
No bets.
Who's got the lines out there?
We should start making them. We should just start. But my wife, Nebraska fan, her whole family from Nebraska. So of course, over the past 4 years since we've lived together after college, if Nebraska volleyball's on, we're watching it. And so over the 4 years, especially since it's been exactly a 4-year span, I've watched this like freshman class of volleyball players at Nebraska go through their whole career. And now they were seniors, and, you know, they end up in the national championship last night against Wisconsin. Big Ten volleyball, first of all, is elite. They're the best conference in the country. Purdue is elite. Ohio State was good this year. Penn State has been traditionally good, not as good this year. Illinois was good. Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Nebraska are top 6 teams in the country. So, and last night went 5 sets. The last set was 15-12, and it was just an elite game. I'm not like heartbroken kind of fan. I just was cheering for Nebraska more than Wisconsin. But yeah, man, some wild shit. When we come back, I'm gonna get back to the recruiting news that and the reason I brought up Nebraska. But for that, you know, we're paying the bills around here. We got to keep the lights on. So for that sake, we'll go to a break. And I've got a little live read here for us, Kev.
Live read.
A live read for that app that I'm pimping out on our social channels. You play fantasy football, Kev, don't you?
I mingle. Some could say that I have the best team in the Walk-On Army League.
And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that Walk-On Army League because we haven't mentioned it in a while, mostly because I'm getting whomped this year and I didn't even make the playoffs. But Ultimate Fan is an app, and you guys saw me this past weekend. For the next month, you're going to see me talking about Ultimate Fan. They are a new kind of free-to-play next level fantasy football. It's pack openings meets fantasy football. You get to open packs of cards virtually and then use those guys on your team. It's a free app. Over $40,000 in gift cards up for grabs this season. You can open packs, collect cards, build your roster, and pick your weekly lineup. Every week is a new contest. So you start back at 0 and you have a new chance to win. It's a really cool little app. And obviously we're doing a little deal with them. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply, US and Canada only. Download the link in the description of this podcast or go to my social channels or the Wash Up Walk on social channels, and you'll see us posting about Ultimate Fan as well. They are a nice little app, a great little user interface, and they are part of our deal with them is they're going to allow you guys to not only have a chance at that $40,000 in gift cards, but you're going to have a chance to win Washed Up Walk-Ons merchandise as well. So it's a win-win-win for everybody, and we're happy to be partnering with Ultimate Fan this season. Kev, Ultimate Fan, ultimate name as we move into the second half of the podcast here. Do you remember the recruit, the coldest to ever do it, Crawford? Do you remember that? You've never heard of him?
I think I'd remember a name like that.
I'm pretty sure at one point we talked about the coldest to ever do it is his middle name, to ever do it. Crawford.
His first name is the coldest?
The coldest. DE apostrophe coldest. He is from Shreveport, Louisiana. He committed verbally to LSU in 2019. However, he has flipped his commitment. He's in the class of 2022, and next year he will be a Nebraska Cornhusker. The coldest to ever do it, Crawford, is joining Scott Frost, and it's the best combination joint football happening of current event times.
This guy is either a wide receiver or a defensive back.
I believe he is a wide receiver. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it makes sense. His parents named him the coldest to ever do it.
Now, thankfully for this kid that he turned out to be a good athlete, because if he was trash, he would get bullied the fuck out of.
If he was like a bowler, you know, and they're just like, yeah, dude, he's the coldest to ever do it. You know, he can spin the shit out.
If he was a football player, he was just trash. You know,
it would be, yeah, it would be better, honestly, if he was good at something like not as popular as football, rather than if he was bad at football.
Right. If he was like an elite chess player, it's like, all right, yeah, sorry, you're still the coldest.
He's the coldest to ever play chess. He can checkmate you like a motherfucker. Oh God, I'm cramping. Oh shit. Somehow, some way, he ended up as a Husker, dude. The Coldest and Frost teaming up to try and take on the Big Ten West. And I don't think
that's actually kind of funny. The Coldest and Frost.
Imagine the
They'll
t-shirt.
probably be together for 1 year.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a 1-year deal. Can you imagine the merch opportunities between Frost and the Coldest? Like, so many designs could come from that. Oh, man. That is gold.
What is happening in this country?
I don't know. I don't know. The world that we live in is truly just one big meme. And I if I didn't mention that, I just feel like
yeah, life is starting to imitate art.
Urban Meyer, not a coach anymore.
Nope.
As of right now. Grinding with co-eds and bars all across the country.
Which is cool if you're 22.
And not married.
Yeah.
Is it even cool to grind if you're 22? Or is that a high school dance kind of thing?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I didn't go out in college. And I had my wife was my girlfriend the whole time. But his time in Jacksonville just didn't quite go as planned.
No, it did not.
And you know what? This is what you get.
Like he had just like the most dysfunctional team ever. Sounded like maybe the dude just didn't even want to coach. Maybe his plan was to go there and get fired.
Right. There's one quote that said he called his staff the biggest bunch of losers that he's ever coached.
I saw that, and I saw a really funny tweet. He was like, "What the fuck? You hired them?"
Yeah, right. Like it was his staff, man.
Yeah. And
this honestly is really what you get when you fuck with a specialist, right? You go around kicking specialists, that karma's gonna kick you back. Okay. And supposedly he kicked the kicker as they were stretching one day. And the kicker said, "Don't you ever fucking kick me again." And he responded with like, "I'm the head coach. I'll do what I want." I mean, what kind of fucking culture are we rocking?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's football, but this is like a workplace environment.
Right. Like he's your employee.
These are professionals. This dude's like probably 30 years old.
Unbelievable.
It's not that it's okay to kick high school players.
I was going to say, it's like,
grown man.
Yeah, sure. If you're coaching Little League, you can kick the shit out of your players, Yeah. Get over there, Jimmy. Timmy, get over there.
Make your kicks, dipshit.
Sixth grade rolls around. You finally got to kick field goals. All right. Who's kicking? All right. We got little Brandon over here. Line him up. Line it up, Brandon. Wide right. Fuck you, Brandon. Get off my team. I never wanted you anyway. Your mom's hot. That's why you're here.
Oh, God. But no, seriously, can you just imagine, like, for the fans at home, you have your office that you work in. It might be, you might work from home or something. I don't know.
I do.
When your coworker, your superior, someone just comes up and kicks you. It's like, do a better job of your job, dipshit.
Yeah. Can you imagine you step into the operating room or like you go to a doctor's office and the doctor just kicks you in your job, Kev? He just comes up and drop kicks your ass. Like, sell better. Be a better salesperson.
Oh, that'd be funny. Or you're working from home and like your 5-year-old wanders into your office and
smacks you in the face. Just punches you in the gut. You suck. Unbelievable. His I don't know. He was better in college. College and pro coaching, they're not the same.
No, I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier before he got fired. I never thought he was a great football coach. I thought he was a really good recruiter. He got really good players that, I don't think they ran very complex schemes. They just were better than teams.
He just had elite talent.
He just had better talent.
And when is the 30 for 30 coming out on that 08 Florida Gator team with Hernandez and Urban and Tebow? And
there's got to be some stories on that.
I mean, my goodness.
I mean, I can't imagine Tim Tebow was the type of guy to go out, but just the locker room dynamic between Aaron Hernandez and
Tim Tebow. Tim was pissed all the time, man. Like, they come in, team meeting, everyone knows, Aaron got caught out late, 2, 3 a.m., potential weapons or, whatever drugs, whatever he had going on. Tim's just like, have you seen those TikToks of the like Pastor Brian or whatever. Like, oh God, what is it called? Oh my God, I have to edit one of these into the podcast. It's like when your church buddy recognizes that your music isn't holy or something like that. And he like comes up to him. He's like, hey, yeah, Jim. Yeah, no, love seeing you here at church today. I just wanted to pull you aside real quick. Saw your Spotify rap the other day and it had a lot of non-Christian music in there. A lot of rap that was, a lot of stuff that worships the devil, kind of stuff like that. And that's just not the kind of music that we want for our members around here. So if you could clean that up, that'd be real nice. That's my idea of like Tim in the locker room going like, Aaron, we can't have you out there selling weed, man. Like we need you for this team. We're trying to win a national championship around here, man. And he's just like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna keep catching passes. Just don't worry about it. All right. Those guys really took different paths in life.
Yep.
Is Tim Tebow playing hockey yet, or is he a cricket player? What's he into now? I
think he's getting into curling.
Okay. He could be that USA curling team. He could make them. He could.
Dude, I want to say, somebody sent me something like the Olympic qualifiers are in Cedar Rapids this year or something like that.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Interesting. We're going to do a few more Q&A from the other day. But before we do, I want to talk about the Walk-On Army. And this is only for Patreon members. So if you want to get in on next year's fantasy football, which could be a whole new level because of how much interest we had this year and how many people we had to turn away. The Walk-On Army Fantasy Football League, 16 people, really 13, including the three of us, were a part of this league. K-Dub's Creamers, 10-4 on the year.
Hell yeah, boys. With the most points scored in the league. The
2 seed in the East, Polecat Nation, is sitting at 7th out of 8 in the East. I went 3-11 and did not make the playoffs. I had a absolute trash team. Drake actually snuck into the playoffs as well.
Yeah,
so
make it in there.
So if I can find let me find the little standings play. Oh yeah, playoff.
He's
bracket.
The 8th seed.
So we've got 8 people. Half of the league made the playoffs, and obviously that just started. We literally got scores updating as I look at it, and it looks like K-Dub's Creamers is currently 11.5 to 11.5 against the 6th seed over there.
Only got 2 players playing right now, but
okay.
We're doing all right.
And we're off and running. So, that's gonna come up. We're gonna have a Walk-On Army fantasy football champion who, if it is one of the fans, it'll hard pressed for Drake to probably win it. So at this point, if one of us 3 is gonna win it, Kev, it's on you. If you don't win, the fan who does win, we will get them something sent out to them. Maybe feature them for a quick bit on the podcast. Who knows? We'll see.
You telling me you're not going to send me something if I win? This is
no,
bullshit.
No, not a chance. Not sending you anything. I got absolutely.
I'm winning this shit.
Yeah, you need to. It was a free to play league, so there's not a lot on the line.
Pete Waller, you're going down this week.
Yeah, Pete Waller's a great guy.
But next week I'm playing the winner of Richmond. I'm assuming that's
Ian Richmond,
and then Aaron Lord.
Yeah. The Eskimo Brothers versus the Buckeye Bouncers are there. Some good names. Also in the other teams were Team Kulik, Kinnick for the win, East Coast Bias, and Team Butt Chug, which is interesting. Obviously that strategy is working out well for you. You got the 4 seed in the playoffs. So congrats. Wanted to just take a quick moment to walk over those. Let's roll it over to a couple questions to end this podcast, and we'll call it good. The other day we answered our favorite all-time KF moment and a few funny questions about the weather from last week. What's the likelihood of Petrus or Padilla entering the transfer portal? Which one? When? Thoughts on Riley and Moss in the Senior Bowl? We already gave those. Let's answer the first one because there was a few that Courtney asked in this chat. Likelihood of Petrus or Padilla entering the transfer portal? I would say pretty high.
See, I don't know, man. For me, it's a toss-up between the two of them, and I'd imagine they battle it out for at least through spring ball.
It's tough, man, because both have proven that they can play somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And I think that because of the limited amount of work that he's gotten, Padilla might be a more appealing transfer for another team out there.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's also got more eligibility left.
And he's
but
he's got a whole extra year.
I don't.
Do you think you
No. Like it's like there. Like the coaches are going back and forth during games about who's going to play. You're just going to walk away from a competition like that where you're clearly neck and neck.
right yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
right. I agree. I think a lot of the fans,
it's not like you're the 1 year behind him and he's like going to be a second round draft pick and you have to wait 4 years for him to leave and stuff. It's not like that where you're like never going to see the field unless this guy gets hurt. You have a chance to go win a job. Go win a job.
So you think at least through spring, and then whoever's
I'd imagine.
What if it's still
I don't know what the hell these kids do anymore. But anyone with some balls would at least compete through spring.
I would agree. With the transfer portal and that shit, it would be very easy and would not surprise me if, hey, I don't even know if they're going to name, do they have to name a number one guy? Probably not. Like there's no rule that you have to name a number one. It's just like, hey, you guys are both number one. You're getting equal reps. I don't know. Is there a recruit that you're looking forward to the most? Kevin probably can't answer this one. I could probably shed a little light on this. I would say it's hard not to pick Wampa. I think
how could you not?
So I'm gonna stay away from that easy answer. I do think he plays at minimum 3 or 4 special teams next year. If not, works into the lineup at one of the safety positions. I would say
open safety spot. We'll see. I'd be really surprised to see a true freshman step up and start right away at safety. Really hard to do.
It's tough.
But you never know.
If he can, though, and Phil puts him out there, what does that say about his potential?
Says that he trusts him.
Which is you got to earn that.
Yeah, to earn it. Is he coming early or is he just going to?
He is. He's coming in.
He's coming in the spring.
He'll be there in a month.
Okay.
So there's a chance.
That makes it a lot easier. You're gonna have a spring ball to go through too.
Yep.
Yeah, because safety's tough, man. You gotta learn a lot of checks, calls, and stuff, and coaches put a lot on your plate.
It'll be a real test of his football
IQ. For a
IQ.
freshman to pick up, but we'll see.
Physically, he can play. It's all about the mental.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once Phil trusts you to do that, then it's about who's the better player.
Yeah. I would say, Courtney, thanks for asking that question. That's in the Discord too. So if you want to participate in some of these Q&As, go over patreon.com/washup-walk-ons. Again, half your money goes to the kids and goes to that crazy big number that we're going to donate next year. And you get to participate in stuff like our Discord. I would say Aaron Graves. He's a 4-star D-end who committed really, really early. Potentially could have been. I feel like when you commit real early and you're kind of taken off the scene, you don't get quite as much attention from the recruiting. What are they called? The recruiting
coordinator?
No. The services out there who rate you and stay up to date on who's recruiting you and all that stuff. I think he had the potential to be like a 5-star, maybe. I believe he's from in-state, and he's supposed to be an absolute animal. And if you look at the pictures of this kid, another guy who is physically ready to go. So if he, and D-line, a lot of D-line is like, hey, see ball, get ball, like, and it's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than that, but I think this kid has a potential to be really, really good as well. So I'm interested in Carson May too, the quarterback from Oklahoma. We'll see what he can do. Obviously, if one of these guys does enter the transfer portal, you're looking at Carson May, the guy who will be coming in as the third option behind whoever stays, whoever gets the job, Joey Labas or Labia. I don't know. And that's disrespectful. I'm sorry, Joey. I had to do it. It just seemed like Kev's in disgust. His face is just like, God damn. Is that not on brand though? How can we not?
It is on brand. I thought we were trying to break this brand.
No. Brand stays the same.
Podcast with no preparation.
Joey Labia will be second string, and then Carson may be third string. So it'll be interesting. And then, how do they train players for interviews? I've always been impressed that they always are on the same page when it comes to answering the questions from the press. You got any insight on that, Kev? Were you trained?
I did one interview in my time. Don't ask me.
I did one too, and it was when we were training for pro day. No. I did media after the Polecat and Ohio State game too. So
no, actually I did two interviews.
Wow. The week you started at Northwestern?
What's that?
The week you started at Northwestern?
Yes, the week after.
Nice.
What I remember is during camp, one of the coaches comes and gives like a 10-minute spiel about, always defer credit to your teammates. Say, if you're running back, the line blocked great. If you're
there's a playbook.
Receiver, yeah, exactly.
So the reason why we all sounded like we were on the same page, not we, I should really exclude Kevin and I from that. The good players, the ones with scholarships, sounded good, is because Iowa takes a very sort of dull, bland blanket approach, the KF approach to media, right? The Bill Belichick approach to media. And that is never speak for a teammate or a coach, only speak for yourself. Always give credit to the other position groups that helped you out and the other units. And basically, and I don't know if this was really a directive, but it was more so just the mindset of the program. And it's basically that 24-hour rule. Like, hey, we're moving on. We've got a new opponent. Time to shift gears. And a fourth one was, and this one was always relevant, was you can never overlook an opponent, right? And that wasn't bullshit. That's just reality, right? We got our ass beat.
Also, don't have any headline quotes out there.
No headline quotes. Don't say anything about body
Asshole.
bags or, just don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
When Desmond came out after our fifth game of the year in 2015, and we beat Wisconsin by 4 points on some luck, and he said the bullies of the Big Ten are back. I'll tell you this: the rest of the team didn't like that. Okay,
good thing we worked out that year. But
things turned out well, but tell you what, the rest of the team didn't like that we had to now. There was no choice. We had to go be the bullies of the Big Ten, or we looked like assholes. So, yeah, just stay away from any headline quotes. And then when you do that, and all the guys are just good, and a lot of the guys are, they're just good people. So they just have good, solid sort of praise your teammates, praise your coaches, praise the other team answers. It just sounds very uniform and all on the same page. So, there's that. Let's see if we have any good ones here. Other than that, how does the staff manage diet during finals week? What? The staff's diet or the players' diet? I don't know which one he's asking about. I'll tell you this: the staff doesn't manage their diet very well at all, ever.
Yeah, you'll see some of these guys puffer up a little bit during the season.
There ain't much exercise. I know that they.
I don't know if we've talked about it before, but it's almost comical to see the coaches cycle weight.
It's weird. It's crazy.
Like peak recruiting season when they're on the road a lot, probably eating a lot of junk food, some fast food. You'll see them get up a little bit. Yep. Spring ball comes around.
Spring and summer, it's that summer shred, baby.
Slim back down.
Oh yeah, it's hot.
Oh man, if he ever hears this, he's gonna be pissed at me. But I swear to God, Wallace had 2 sets of clothes.
Oh, he had the XL and the 2 XLs. Oh man,
we had small balls. We had
Seth, Coach.
Awesome guy though.
Coach
awesome guy.
Wallace, I fucking love you. Oh man, let's leave it there before we bury ourselves into any deeper holes here. I think that was all in the questions anyway. Thank you guys for those questions. There is a question thread in the Discord where anytime you want, if you're part of that, you can go and drop that in, and then we can add it into the episodes without having to constantly say, hey, drop us some questions. And then you get answers like that Kevin just gave you. So thank you guys so much for, again, the crazy year we've had, and our ability to now donate $17,000 to the Children's Hospital. That's wild. And and Kev, it's almost numbing. It's almost like I'm numb to that number, because it's just sort of become the level at which we're at. But that is like unbelievable, dude. Almost 20 grand. That's insane. So
yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Hopefully those kids have a big old smile on their face this Christmas season, this holiday season, not just because of us, but because of guys like Linderbaum and all of the fundraising efforts that go into that UI Children's Hospital. It's just a great cause to give to. So we appreciate you guys tuning in to episode 278, and we're going to keep rolling on. Next episode you're going to hear is going to come out on the 23rd, and it's going to be a little Christmas themed. I'm going to have Kevin bring his top Christmas lists of movies, songs. We're going to do a little holiday episode. So stay tuned for that. If you got any top Christmas lists that you want us to do, top 3, top 5, rate them, send us in on the DMs or just tweet it out to us. And we're going to make a little holiday episode to, not to end the year, but to help close out this year. So thanks again. Any words from you, Kevin, before we go?
Peace out, Hawks.
Hawks by a milli. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.